Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Today I thought it would be wise to start to complete this double page really. So we're sort of starting a new series, but it's sort of a second part. This bit's already been done. I think it was a 5-part series, I can't quite remember. Did 2 or 3 objects per episode. And then we have this page, and I thought it was about time that I actually got on and finished this one. So we're going to start with the first few items. I'm just going to come in closer. I'm going to have to shift the book around a little bit. I think that might be close enough. I'll have to just, oops, sorry, lower the book. I've got to tuck it underneath the pencils. There we go. I think that's probably, we'll see. We'll need to have it up that high to start with. So we'll start with this bit and then we'll move it so that we can see the spoon. I think we'll come in just a little closer and move it down just a tad. That's it. So we'll do this ribbon to start with. Now I've decided what colour I'm going to do the spoon, so I'm going to do the ribbon to match. I've got my Polychromos. I'm pretty sure that's what I used for the other side. Pretty sure. So hopefully it'll all tie in, but even if it doesn't, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to use my mauve. I want a really dark coloured sort of string. Up here, I just realised I haven't got a piece of paper underneath. There we go. Right at the top, it looks to me like the ribbon is split in two. So I'm just going to use a bit of mauve on each bit, leaving a little white bit in the centre. I hope you can see. I haven't done anything fancy because it's such a small space. Here though, what I will do is do a little more at each end and leave a gap in the middle. Like that, and we'll do the same down on this one. Now I've got about 3 tutorials lined up for you now. I've had a few requests for various pages, so I thought I would get on and do those, because I seem to have had a lot of flip throughs and unboxings and things and not really done something that you can get your teeth into, apart from of course the Rooms of Wonder series, which is going on and on. It's taking quite a while, isn't it? I haven't finished recording it all yet, but I just felt like we'd just get that page, that double page done. But I know some of you have already done it. It must be a little bit frustrating for you that you're not getting anything different. So hopefully this is a bit different, but again, some of you would have done this page too. If they're not, I'm just going to go round and round. There we go. Now we have this sort of beads and things. I don't want to go too pale, so I think I'm going to grab the purple violet for some of them. So let's give that a sharpen. There we go. And I think all the round ones, and what I'm going to do is try and make it a bit more layered around the outside and then a little bit less towards the middle. I think that's a bead there. I mean, it could of course be gemstones, but I sort of think of them as beads. And there. I was watching a funny video, well I wasn't, I don't think, it was Pixie's projects, and I don't think she was meant to be funny, it just made me smile. She was saying how when she does certain, it was her completed pages which were lovely. She said when she does her completed pages video, she tends to talk a lot faster than when she does her regular videos, because when she's colouring she's talked slowly and she's concentrating, but when she's doing a flip through she isn't concentrating in the same way. Middle purple pink. So she tends to talk a lot more quickly, so she was going to try and talk more slowly. It just made me smile because I wonder whether I probably do the same thing, which is it's probably all of us all colourists do it. So for these, I'm trying to make them a little darker on the edges and a little lighter in the middle. It just gives the impression that they're a bit more rounded, because of course they're round beads threaded onto a string, and also it helps it look a little bit more shiny. Right, I'm grabbing the magenta to do the sort of quartz or whatever it is, magenta crystals. So I'm going to go really dark here at the bottom and then just lighter to there. For this one, I'm just going to go across with a few lines. Now for the other half, I'm thinking darker here and then lighter down here. I was looking at some really pretty gemstone colouring. Hannah Carlson's got a heart-shaped design in one of her books, I couldn't tell you which, and Barbara Colour's done a really nice tutorial for it actually. And there's a big gemstone in the middle of it, and how people have coloured it, I think I saw quite a few on Instagram. I think it must have been someone's challenge or something to colour it for the month or something, because lots of people have done it. Now I'm just thinking to myself about the spoon. Let's move up so you can see it all. And you can see it's got these sorts of areas and these bits, and I'm thinking maybe these are like gemstones and not part of the metallic bit. So that's what I'm going to do. I've grabbed this pink carmine, but I don't think that's what I want. I think I'll be better off with the Alizarin crimson. Like my book isn't straight, but probably isn't. There we go, Alizarin crimson. Now I'm thinking maybe, I mean, is that a hole in the spoon or is it? If it was, that would be threaded through it surely. So I'm thinking maybe that's a gemstone. So I'm going to keep it really simple and just put the darker layers around the edge and then less towards the middle, and hopefully it might look a little bit like it's sticking out the spoon and shiny at the same time, and do the same thing here. I had someone ask me this morning about light, and do I think about the direction of the light when I'm colouring things? Not really. I should, but I'm going to fade this up like I did with the these stones. Except I did those the other way, didn't I? Faded them down anyway. You should really start right away and think, what direction's the light coming from? Where's the shadow going to fall? I find that really complicated. So I try and look at each individual object, and I imagine the light's coming straight into the object, so the lightest bit would be down the centre here, and it's just much easier for me. And it's probably not how you should do it, but you know, it's just how I do it. I thought the Alizarin crimson was a bit pinker than this, but I think it's okay. There we go. So I'm doing all that bit is gemstone. I'm thinking this bit too, actually. And this bit. It's very ornate. It's not a very practical spoon, is it? And now we'll do some silver. And I've used a variety of colours for silver across the other page. I can't remember what I used because it's such a long time, so I am just going to grab my Paynes grey and just get started. So around the edge we want our darkest bit. You could always use a black for this bit, but I prefer a dark grey, but I might use a black on some of the others. And around the edge of here too. And I'm going to try and just gently reduce how much colour I'm putting down on the page and leave a bit in the middle that's slightly white for our shine. It looks quite dark, doesn't it? But maybe it'll be okay. Maybe though, if I make that even darker, the hopefully the shine will show up more. Now ideally you want a bit of dark under the ribbon for shadow. It's such a small space, it's quite difficult. So here, layer it here, a bit less here, less here, leave a tiny bit in the middle. We've got some dots in the middle to help us so we know where it is, which is useful. Thank you, Johanna. And there, and then shadow under here. And the same here, so down here, dark, and then a bit less towards the middle, like that. I don't know whether that bit would have been a gemstone, but it isn't now. Now the spoon itself, we've got these swirly bits. I think it's going to be easier if we ignore them at the moment, maybe entirely. We'll see. So I'm just trying to make it lighter down the centre there, like that. Now we've got a rounded object, it's always quite tricky. I'm going to put a dark outline to start with and then have a think. What have I done with my other spoon? Oh, I've only got one, it's this one. We made it sort of darker and lighter. Because it would, I don't know if it'd be darker in the middle really, but it's much easier to make it lighter. So maybe that's what we'll do. We'll put a dark rim around here, as if it's dipped in a bit, which it would be. So I'm just really layering up a lot around there, and then I'm going to come in and make it lighter as we go and just hope that it works. We'll see. I might add a bit of black to this in a bit. Now the swirly pattern, we could have left it and made it look like it was raised up, and if we did that it would be lighter than the rest of the spoon. But now it isn't lighter than the rest of the spoon. We're going to be able to be lighter than the rest because of the way I've coloured over it, because I had decided that I was going to make it dark and make it look like it's engraved. So what we're going to do is to take the black, give it a sharpen and go over all of those in black as if they're dipped into the spoon. So here is our black. And I'm going to just go, I am going to make it a little bit, I don't know, I'm actually keeping it fairly similar pressure through. So you think if it's engraved it'd be a little bit darker than the rest. There we go. Maybe that's okay. Right, we're going to add some white pen in a bit. I could do that now. Let's just move the book down. The crown. Let's do the crown now, and then we'll do the... No, I'm going to do the white first, or else I might just forget. I'm going to use my Sakura 10. I'm going to do a little bit on the gemstones. Like that, and then I just want a bit on the rim of the spoon so it looks like it's a bit higher up. And yeah, I'm using the pen really gently. And then we'll come up here and do a little bit on here. Maybe take away a bit of the black lines, like that, and just put a bit of shine on these beads. There we go. Okay, so there's our spoon done. Let's do should you be that way a bit? No, really script. I'm trying to line you up with the edge of the page. It's quite difficult. Let's do this one. Okay, and I'm going to actually start with my black to do this stone. A little bit of black there and there and down here. Okay, I'm just seeing what colour the other one is that we did, because we want to do a different colour. What should we do? We've done a green, let's do a blue. Where should we go for here? We'll go to dark indigo, I think. I need to sharpen it though. And we'll just extend this dark bit a little bit. And on this side and up here and there, I'm going to put a tiny bit there and there. And then we're going to use a pretty, what's that? Yeah, I think that Prussian blue will work out quite nicely. So I'm going to extend this now. This is going to be the last bit. And fade that really down to the edge like that. Do the same on this side. I'm going to keep it symmetrical because it is facing the front, and if our light is coming from the directly on, then they would all be collecting the light in the same way, or reflecting the light in the same way. That's what I'm trying to say. And then this bit, I'm thinking a little bit across there, there and there, and then actually it might be parallel down here as well, like that. Now we need to do the string part. I'm just planning ahead a little bit. This is our crown, it's gold. So maybe this loop might be slightly silvery. Yeah, let's grab a cold grey 5 for that. Ooh. Gonna have to sharpen it. Everything always needs sharpening because there's a lot of fine detail. So we'll do a little bit there and there, and the same there, leaving some white to shine. Quite simple. I think we'll do the rest as beads. We stick to our sort of slightly turquoisey theme, although that looks quite dark blue. We use this bluish turquoise for some of them. I think for these sort of long, thin ones, I'm going to try and go all the way around the edge and leave a sort of lightish centre. It's a pretty colour, isn't it? And then for the others, we use slightly different colour. Yeah, maybe we'll use this Cobalt turquoise. It's a little bit lighter. Gonna try and do it darker around the edge. There we are. Now our crown. I'm just going to do this bit of ribbon before we come down to the, well, I'll move it in a bit. I'm thinking maybe using a green for the ribbon might work well, as we've got red and we've got blue. I mean, we've got pink and purple and we've got blue. I think green will work quite well. what sort of colour. I rather think the sort of phthalo type green will be a nice shade for a ribbon. So that's what I'm grabbing, and I'm going to work quite a few layers at the top there and then fade, and then the same here like that, and then do the same with this one, and then I will move the book up and I will actually come in a little closer, I think. Oh, not too much. There we go. And we'll do this piece. So very similar, just fade towards the middle. See, the light wouldn't be catching it evenly at the middle of each piece. It just makes it easier for me. I like to make it easy, and it still looks shiny, even though I've gone easy on myself. Okay, now we have various jewels and things on the crown, which I'm going to do first because I think it'd be a lot easier. I want them to be really dark because I'm going to colour over them. So I need them to stand out and be quite burnished. The deep cobalt green is therefore an ideal choice. And I'm going to do all of them. I'm putting my hand on top of where I did the white pen. Luckily it's dry. Oops. So all of these are going to be the same, and I am not doing anything other than quite a few layers to get a dark colour because it's too small. Right, then we have the jewels. We have one here which is partly obscured by the string. This one I'm going to try and make it slightly lighter in the middle. It's not that easy. And this one too. And I'm also going to do these top bits in this colour. I just think it's easier in this small area than trying to make them metallic. You could do them silver with just one shade of grey. And you could do them gold with the green gold or something like that, but I think it's easier to do them like this. I was having a look yesterday actually at a video of our king's coronation crown. It was fascinating. Just used for coronations and nothing else. Wow! I haven't seen the crown. I probably have seen the crown jewels actually, because I have been to I think they're kept in the Tower of London, and I think I've visited there as a child. I'm going to try and make that bit really dark in there. But I remember more recently seeing the Scottish crown jewels when I lived up in Scotland. I went to Edinburgh Castle, which is where they are, and that was quite fun. We need to do these gemstones on here, and I'm thinking maybe I will just grab quite a light. I'm wondering whether this will work, the light phthalo green. I think it might look really pretty, just to do them all in this really light colour. Yeah, so yeah, when I used to live in Scotland, I went with my sister to Edinburgh, and we went to Edinburgh Castle, and the jewels are there. It was great fun. It was a really fun day, say, going to Edinburgh. I've only been that once. Okay, let's make a start on the crown. Burnt umber to start with. I'm fading it as we go in towards the centre. And I'm not doing this. Now, I'm not purposely colouring over the top of the green, but I know that I will, which is why I did it first and dark, because I think it won't be too affected by any colour that goes over the top of it. Now, there are lots of fancy ways of doing crowns, but I'm just going to do my normal sort of way. I'm going to use the burnt sienna next. I don't always use this one. I don't remember how I did my golds on the other page. I did get sent some gold combinations, which was very useful in, I think they were for Prismacolor, but you can adapt. I had a quick look at them, but actually I like making up my own as well. Do we want any of this anywhere else? Yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of that on the end of there, just a light bit, because I'm going to start adding some colour to here. I think what I'll do here is put a bit there and there and there. I'm hardly breathing, I don't know why. Breathe, girl, breathe, it's okay. I'm going to use the brown ochre next. Let's take it a shade lighter. So I'm going to do a bit on here. I do these bits first. Need to leave gaps. Yeah, I was looking at a video too on BBC News about Highgrove House, which is where our king lives. I'm not sure how much he lives there now, because obviously he needs to be in London quite a bit, and Highgrove is in the Cotswolds, and my husband said we'd like to go. They open the gardens, not the house so much. You can't go because he lives there. You can't go around the house because it's not huge, but the gardens they do tours, and it's, I think it was £30, which is quite expensive. An hour and a half though, and there's up to 26 people in the tour. So what that would mean is you would actually have the opportunity to ask questions and things if you wanted, which I thought would be rather nice. And we want some inspiration for our garden. Now, our garden is not the size of 2 fields, which apparently his is. They were quite inspecific. But we have a postage stamp for garden, but we need some inspiration. We were thinking of doing it this year, but our neighbour has said she's going to cut down a tree at the end of the garden, which will change the light in our garden a lot, and also if we plant anything and a bit of tree falls on it, it might damage it. So we're going to replace the fence, but we've put everything on hold because she's going to do that, which is going to be good. So we're sort of trying to do a few other jobs. See, last year we did our kitchen, of course, which was a huge job, but we were thinking what we might do is do the balcony and our railings on our house. I need doing some work doing on this summer. This is the Naples yellow. It's impossible to read, isn't it? I think this is going to be my last colour actually. So that's going to need to leave some white everywhere so that you can see the shine, because it's metal. Yeah, so our balcony and railings are not in the best state of repair, so I thought we would get that done. I quite like the idea of having an outside job done this summer rather than an inside one, because it'll be less messy and dirty, although if they're doing the balcony it's on the back and there's no way through to the back apart from through the house, but even so it'll be a lot cleaner than having a kitchen, and also a lot less work. It'll take less time and be less stressful, so I thought that would be fun. Now we're nearly done, but I need to put a little bit of white pen, so I'm going to come out again, partly so you can see all of it and partly so that I can do the pen work. I can't quite see all the spoon. There we go. Now here is Sakura 10 again, same pen. So I'm going to take away a bit of this white here first of all, and put a bit of shine. I don't know why I favour the left, it just feels easier to do, and then a bit on these. Not sure where, it's a bit random, just want to make them look shiny And the same here, all of the, oops, need a bit, pen's a bit big. Maybe I should have used a 5, a bit late now. Try not to press too hard to get a smaller dot. Hopefully it will start to look a lot more jewel-like and shiny rather than just coloured blobs. Because obviously that's what I like in my colouring tube blobs. Right, let's have a quick look. I think I want a bit more on there, like there. Just gonna look, sit back and look. Yeah, I think that's okay. So that is our first 3 things. I think that's enough for today. I do find, I don't know if you're the same, that metallic is quite taxing to colour. It can be quite difficult. It's a lot of colours and a lot of stages, and so it's nice to do it in little bits. So there's that one for today. You could, I just thought, on the crown, I want to take the dark burnt umber and go underneath these raised bits with a bit more shadow and under there, but I'm actually just going to leave it. I'm not going to fiddle with it anymore. I'm quite happy. So I'm going to say tomorrow, I might be wrong, the next one we'll move across and do a few of the others. I'm not sure if it will be tomorrow, it depends on, oh, excuse me, what else there is going on. But yeah, I'm going to you know, get this series done in a fairly quick-ish time scale for you. But there's that one, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day, and happy colouring.